Yes, good morning all. Here now we are discussing about water potential. What is water potential? The conversion of potential energy into kinetic energy of a substance will give some free energy. That free energy is measured in terms of this potential. What I told you, this water potential is measured as psi W. That water potential is equal to solute potential plus pressure potential. I told you. Solute potential is always negative, pressure potential is always positive. So water potential is based on the concentration of the solute particles and the amount of pressure exerted from the external side. Okay, they two give rise to water potential. If solutes are more, then solute potential will increase, then water potential will decrease. Water potential is indirectly proportional. Okay, inversely proportional to the solute potential. Solute concentration is increased means water potential will be decreasing. Maximum water potential is what? 0. 0 is the maximum water potential. That water potentials we'll see in different cases. Different cases. First cells we are taking in case of fully turgid cell. In case of fully turgid cell. What is a fully turgid cell? Fully turgid cell means here a cell, take a plant cell. This plant cell has a cytoplasm. Inside that cytoplasm, water is fully filled. Maximum water. Yes. Cell filled with the maximum amount of water. That is what we call fully turgid. Here, in case of fully turgid cell, net movement of water will be stopped. Net movement of water stops here. There is no entry of water inside the cell. Okay. So, when this turgidity will come, when a cell is kept in water, suppose a cell is kept in water means it will absorb maximum water and it will become swollen or taken up more amount of water. So, cell is in equilibrium with water outside the cell. What is the amount of water which is present outside the cell? That maximum amount of water also entered here. So here what happens? Maximum water potential is there here. That means water potential for this cell, because maximum amount of water is present here. So maximum water present is there means water potential is maximum in this case. Maximum, which is 0. A fully turgid cell will take up more water. Maximum water will be entering the cell. Okay, that carries maximum water potential. See here, the pressure potential and the turgor pressure. Turgor pressure means the pressure by which it is taking water. They become equal, but they are in opposite side. Turgor pressure and osmotic potential. What is turgor pressure means? Osmotic potential is what? Movement across a membrane. Okay. Then from as water level is increased inside the cell, it will exhibit some pressure on cell walls to prevent the entry of water. Suppose this is a cell. What is entering the cell? Cell got a maximum amount of water means, so osmotic potential is somewhat okay. Now, as cell got a maximum amount of water, from inside to outside also there is some pressure on cell membrane. This pressure will prevent the entry of water. So this is what we call turgor pressure. That turgor pressure and osmotic potential are equal, but they are in opposite signs. See here, turgor pressure. What is the turgor pressure? I will tell you, turgor pressure and osmotic potential both are equal with opposite signs. Suppose this has 10 bars of negative pressure, means osmotic potential has 10 bars of positive potential, like that. Okay, negative sign. Suppose, so that if you take water potential, that is what we can, solute potential plus pressure potential. Turgor pressure is exerted by the concentration of solutes only. See here, water is maximum. Suppose minus 10 bars is solute potential. Turgor pressure is exhibiting. Pressure potential is 10 bars. Minus 10 bars, pressure potential is 10 bars. Both are opposite, so it will become 0. 10 minus 10. So water potential will become 0. Based on the solute concentration, there is entry of water. See here, if solute concentrations are more here, then there is entry of water. But as maximum amount of water is present inside the cell, as maximum amount of water present inside a cell, solute particles are less. As solute particles are less, from inside to outside there is some pressure which prevent the entry of water. That is what we call turgor pressure. That turgor pressure is equal to osmotic pressure, but osmotic pressure has a positive sign, whereas the turgor pressure, based on the solute concentration, it has a negative sign. So they will become equal and water potential will be 0. Note down that point. Note down this. Completed, good, very good. Then we'll see another case of a cell. Yes. In case of partly turgid cell, this is fully turgid cell. In case of partly, not fully, partially or partly turgid. Partly turgid cell means, what is partly turgid? Water is not entering fully. Cell is there, this is a cell, but water is entering, but protoplasm is somewhat shrinking. Water is not present fully, that means partially turgid. This is also called as vacuolated cell. Vacuolated cell. Okay, here, if you see in this condition, water is partially filled, not fully, so that inside that solute concentration is more. Solute concentration is more, so solute potential is maximum, but pressure potential is not maximum, because already it is filled. Not filled means then pressure potential will be full. If cell is empty, there is no water means then pressure potential will be full. But here solute concentration is more, so water is present average amount, so pressure potential is not full. Pressure potential is negative. Sorry, pressure potential is always positive but not full. Here pressure potential is positive. I told you pressure potential is always positive. In this condition also, pressure potential is positive. Okay, but less than fully turgid cell. Fully turgid cell has maximum pressure potential, but it has less pressure potential. That is one thing. And solute potential is more. More means more negative. So water potential will become negative. So that water potential is negative potential is seen here. See here, what is water potential? Water potential is equal to solute potential plus pressure potential. Suppose here solute potential I told you is more. Why? Because solute water is less present, so solute potential is more. Suppose minus 10 bars are there. Pressure potential is maximum when it is that fully turgid cell. But here partly turgid cell. So pressure potential is less. Suppose 5 bars are there. 5 bars. Now the water potential will become minus 5 bars. Water potential will become minus 5 bars, which is negative. Negative potential is seen in case of partly turgid cell, which is vacuolated cell. Okay, this condition is seen in majority of plant cells under normal conditions. When atmospheric conditions are normal, like water is normally available, this condition is majorly seen. This condition is normally seen in plant cells under normal conditions. Normal conditions means where availability of water is normal, not water scarcity. There is no plenty availability of water. Water is not available plenty, water is not scarcity. That condition is shown normally where plant cells have average amount of water, so it has negative water potential. Water potential is negative means from positive potential to negative potential, from high potential to low potential it is moving. So water will be moving from outside to inside in case of partly turgid cell. From the potential of high area to potential of less area, there is movement, you know. It is negative. Negative means less potential. So from the potential of high to low area, there is movement of water. When water is available around the cell. When water is surrounding the cell, then water movement will be from outside to inside of the cell. Okay? Right. Then one more cell we'll see. One more cell we'll see. In case of complete. Yeah, good. In case of flaccid cell, flaccid means there is no water, constricted. In case of flaccid cell means cell has, okay, but there is less availability of water. Due to very less availability, protoplasm, plasma membrane is constricted. Water is very less in this condition. Okay, so here in this case, the turgor pressure what is developing here is 0 because membrane is fully constricted. As membrane is fully constricted, turgor pressure is 0. Turgor pressure is 0. There is no opposite force. Okay. So here what happens? Turgor pressure is 0. Here cell with the turgor pressure 0 has osmotic potential which is equal to water potential. As the thermal pressure is zero here, from inside to outside there is no any opposite force. So only osmotic pressure is there. So whatever the amount of potential present in water, that is present for this osmotic also. So osmotic potential is maximum or equal to water potential. How much the water movements, that much of osmosis is taking place. The water potential alone entering. Here, what I told you, suppose from movement is from outside to inside, that is osmosis. Okay. During that movement, from any force is opposite from inside to outside. Water is going this way. Okay. But something is pumping back this one. Water is moving inside, but this force is opposite to that water movement. That is what we say turgor pressure. But here turgor pressure is zero. As turgor pressure is zero, water can freely move. So whatever the osmotic potential is present, that is the same. Okay. See here, solute potential is more. Solute potential is more. So what happens in this case? Solute potential. Water potential is equal to solute potential plus pressure potential. Here, what is the pressure we are saying? Turgor pressure. Here, solute potential is minus 10 bars. Pressure potential, the turgor pressure is 0 bars. So, this will become minus 10 bars. Minus 10 bars. So, the water potential will be at minus 10 bars. So, than pure water, it has less water potential. Less water potential. Water potential is less in this case. Least water potential can be observed in the case of fully flaccid cell means least water potential, minimum. Fully flaccid, there is no water inside the protoplasm. Then we can see this condition. There are three types of movements. Okay. Suppose if any pressure is exerting, suppose here there is a tube. Just for comparison, we are drawing this. Here water is taken. Suppose actually water should be equal, but where there is solutes are more. When solutes are more, water will be taking more into that solutes. When solute concentration is more, here we are separating this with a membrane. Semi-permeable membrane I drawn here. This is water and solute molecules. So here, when solute concentration is more, what happens? Here solutes are more. Due to presence of the solutes, water potential is less here. When solutes are present here, water potential is less here. So water is moving from high water potential area to less water potential area. Okay, that is okay. But if a pressure is developed this side, opposite side, same condition, same semi-permeable membrane. Here solute particles are there, that side, this side solute particles are there. This is water molecules, this is semi-permeable membrane, solute particles are present. If any pressure is developed here, pressure, if something pressure is developed here, then what happens? Movement is from low water potential to high water potential. Low water potential to high water potential also taking place. Suppose this is a condition of equilibrium. Equilibrium. Suppose if the pressure, I I will draw one more condition, then I will explain you so that you can understand better. Same condition, same joke. Here semi-permeable membrane like this. Here solute particles. Here some more pressure is applied. What is these three are saying is, see here, when there is no pressure at this side, there is movement of water from high water potential area to less water potential area, because here more water concentration is there. This side no solutes. As there is no solutes here, movement of water is from this side to this side, because here more water potential is there, here less water potential is there. But here, when the potential which is equal to water potential is applied here, a positive pressure is applied, which is equal to this water potential. Water potential is moving, right? Equal to that water potential, there is application of equal amount of positive pressure. Then what happens? An equilibrium will be attained, because this movement is the same, this movement also same pressures. So both pressures will be equal, so that there is equilibrium. If more positive pressure is applied here, then the movement of water is from low concentration to high concentration also taking place. Low concentration to high concentration. This is one thing. Otherwise, one more diagram, small diagram I am drawing here. This is what positive pressure. This is positive pressure. Okay. Suppose same condition. Here solutes are there, everything what is there. If any negative pressure developed here, negative pressure. If we apply negative pressure, what happens? Negative pressure means like sucking with a straw. Okay, when negative pressure is applied, there is movement from low concentration, low water potential to high water potential also. If there is a negative pressure is developed, if this negative pressure is more than this movement, water potential is moving this side. If more than that water potential, if negative pressure is applied, then the movement is opposite, from low water potential to high water potential. Note down this. Note down this. Complete? Yeah, completed. Good. Very good. Okay. Next, see one more problem.
water between two adjacent cells.
Based on this water potential, how movement will be there? Movement of water between cells,
two adjacent cells we are taking. Okay, this is not osmotic movement, this is simple water movement. Suppose two cells are there,
two cells, cell A and cell B,
where osmotic movement or movement of water is taking place. Cell A
and cell B values separately I will give.
This cell A has osmotic potential or solute potential of minus 16 bars.
Solute potential of minus 16 bars,
whereas cell B has
this potential of minus 12 bars.
Minus 12 bars.
Two cells will be kept side by side. This cell A, cell B. Cell A has minus 16 bars of solute potential. Cell B has minus 12 bars of solute potential.
And cell A has pressure potential of 8 bars.
Cell A has
pressure potential of 8 bars,
whereas cell B has a pressure potential of 12 bars.
Cell B has a pressure potential of 12 bars. Okay, then the movement of water
is from cell A to B or B to A? What is that question mark?
How water will be moved? From which cell to which cell there is movement of water? Yeah, A to B you are saying, yes. Then A to B, B to A, B to A is also answer. How?
See here, how we can say, first we have to calculate water potential. What is this water potential? Minus 16 plus 8. That is minus 8 bars.
Minus 8 bars. Cell A.
Whereas cell B, water potential is minus 12 plus 12 bars.
Okay, minus 12 plus 12.
Minus 12 plus 12 means this has 0.
Minus 12 plus 12, 0. So what happens? Water moves from high potential to low potential.
Water movement is from high potential to low potential. What is high potential here?
What is the high potential? High potential is minus 8. Really? One cell has 0 bars, which is maximum water potential.
Here, cell A has minus 8 bars, less than 0. Maximum water potential is 0. So, water movement is from B to A.
Water movement is from B to A because the cell B has 0 bars. Maximum water potential. This one has minus 8 bars, which has less than 0. Water potential is negative here, means less than this one. So that water movement is from B to A. Understand?
Okay. Yes. Suppose I am changing the values. Here, this
Solute potential is minus 16 for cell A. First of all, you copy this, then I will change. If I change, you copy that in notes, again answer will be changing. Yeah, completed, very good. Janani is always writing very fast every day. Janani, Vaisika, Sumedha, always saying every time faster. More competition between friends, healthy competition. What about Lohitni? Yeah, good. See, now I am changing the values. Suppose cell A has a solute potential minus 10 bars, pressure potential 10 bar, minus 16 solute potential, pressure potential 10 bars. Here, solute potential minus 12 bars, pressure potential 2 bars. Then the movement will be, then what is the movement? So here, water potential minus 16 plus 1 means minus 6 bars. Minus 6 bars. This one cell B has what? Minus 12 plus 2. Minus 10 bars. Minus 10 bars. Now, which one has more water potential? Cell A has more water potential, minus 6. Cell B has less water potential. Now, in this case, the movement will be A to B. Movement of water is based on majorly the water potential. Movement of water is always depending on water potentials of two media, where based on the water potential, water always moves from the area of high water potential to the area of less water potential. Okay, right. This is how we have to remember the water potential. Water potential is based on osmotic potential. Osmotic potential is depending on solute potential. Solute potential is responsible for osmotic potential. Pressure potential is responsible by Turgor pressure. Turgor pressure is responsible for pressure potential, and solute potential is responsible for osmotic potential. Based on that values, there is a movement. Okay, this is about water and potentials of water, solute potentials and pressure potential, which are responsible for the movement of water. Based on this, some processes of movement, osmosis. What is osmosis? What is osmosis? Movement of water. Okay. Then what is diffusion? What is diffusion? What is diffusion? Yeah, Sumedha, movement of water from high concentration to low concentration. Yeah, movement of solutes. Okay. Diffusion along with concentration gradient. Okay. Then what is diffusion? What is diffusion then? Yes, come on. What is diffusion then? Diffusion is simple movement. Movement of water by osmosis is diffusion. Oh my God. Is it? Simply, diffusion means movement of molecules from high concentration to low concentration is diffusion. If diffusion is taking place across a semi-permeable membrane, if diffusion takes place across a membrane, then it is called as osmosis. In cell lesson I told you, plasma membrane structure, fluid mosaic model, there I told you active transport, passive transport and everything. Here diffusion across a membrane is called what? This osmosis.
Diffusion across a membrane is called osmosis.
Why this membrane is allowing means, here
membranes have a property. Membranes have a property or an ability to transfer substances, water or any substances across the membrane. Across them, these membranes have
an ability to transfer molecules, allow materials to pass through that membrane.
That ability is called what? Permeability. The ability of membranes
to pass substances over across them, materials to pass through the membrane, that is called as what? Permeability. Okay, if you see here,
the plants have membrane covered with cell wall. The plant cell wall has full permeability. You know, under cell wall topic in cell, there we explain.
Cell wall is highly permeable. Cell wall is permeable. Okay, why? Because it allows solvent and solute particles both.
Permeability allows solvent and solutes. Both solvents and solutes are allowed by cell wall to cross across the cell wall. Because cell wall, why? Cell wall is majorly made up of carbohydrates only. Cell wall is made up of cellulose, hemicellulose, pectin, like that. As carbohydrates are present, as there are no lipids in the cell wall, that cell wall can allow
all solute particles and solvent molecules to cross across them.
But other cell walls, cutinized cell wall or suberized cell wall. In cell wall, secondary cell wall I told you, cutin, suberin are present. This cutin or suberin, if they are present in cell wall, they are impermeable. Cutinized and suberized cell walls are impermeable. They will not allow molecules to pass across them. Okay. Here, membranes which are present inside the cell wall. Membranes have, some membranes have a permeability property which allow only solvent molecules but not all solutes. Membranes can allow only solvent molecules like water and do not allow solute particles. Large molecules or something, they cannot be allowed. The membranes which can allow only solute, only solvent, not solute, they are called semi-permeable membranes. Tell me an example to semi-permeable membrane. Example to semi-permeable membrane. Yes, cell membrane. Wow. Then plasma membrane. Membrane means plasma membrane only. Yeah, very good. But told wrong. Yes. You are saying outer membrane of plastid and mitochondria, they are permeable. But inner membrane,
Inner membrane of plastids and mitochondria, they are semi-permeable or selectively permeable. Whereas the outer membranes of mitochondria and plastids, they are fully permeable in nature. But inner membranes of plastids and mitochondria, they are selectively permeable in nature. So these semi-permeable membranes, they will allow only few type of molecules. They allow what? Semi-permeable membranes allow all solvents. Otherwise, you write different separately. Membranes that allow all solvents will be allowed, but selected solutes, which is allowing solvent but not allowing solute, they are semi-permeable. Okay, but the membrane which allow all solvents but selected solute molecules only, so these are called selectively permeable. Which are also called differently permeable membranes. Differently permeable. What is? Now you can understand the difference between semi-permeable and selectively permeable. Semi-permeable means that will allow only solvents, not solutes. Selectively permeable means they will allow solvent, along with that some solutes are also allowed, not all solutes. But semi-permeable is not allowing solutes. This selectively permeable is allowing solutes only some. Okay? So these are different types of membranes, which are differently permeable membrane or selectively permeable membrane, semi-permeable membrane and impermeable membrane. Okay, impermeable means there is no movement of water. Suppose if you take a plant cell has cell membrane. That cell membrane is covered with or surrounded by cell wall. Cell membrane is there in a plant cell, which is the outermost part of protoplast. That protoplast is covered or surrounded with, that only I will tell you. No, cell wall with suberin means that is impermeable. Cell wall with cutin or suberin means they are impermeable. There is no movement of water. Okay. See here, the cells are surrounded by a cell membrane and cell wall. Okay. So, cell wall is freely permeable. Cell wall is freely permeable. All molecules can be carried along with the cell wall. And so it is not a barrier. Barrier means which stops movement. This is not a barrier of movement. What? Cell wall. Cell wall is freely permeable, so it is not a barrier for the movement. Okay, but cell membrane is semi-permeable in nature. You copy this, then we'll continue on top. Completed, ah? Wow, very nice. Yeah, just we have 20 minutes. Copy that fastly. Complete?
Yes.
If you see here, cell membrane is semi-permeable or selectively permeable in nature. It may be semi-permeable and selectively permeable based on the channel proteins present inside the membrane. In middle of the membrane, there is intrinsic proteins or channel proteins. Based on the proteins present in membrane, this membrane is semi-permeable or selectively permeable. You know the difference between that semi-permeable and this selectively permeable. Usually in plant cells, a large and centrally located vacuole is present. A large and centrally located vacuole is present. What is the role of vacuole? It is responsible for movement of water that contains tonoplasm or vacuole sap. Okay, vacuole present which contains tonoplasm or sap. This sap or tonoplasm is there, this contributes. That means it plays an important role in solute potential. Solute potential of a cell is depending on the tonoplasm or sap of the vacuole. It contributes for the solute potential. Inside a vacuole, if water is more means then solute concentration will be less and solute potential will be less. Inside a cell or vacuole, if there is a less concentration of water, cell has a less amount of water or vacuole has a less amount of water means then solute concentration will be less and so that solute potential will be also less. Okay, so in plant cells, the membrane of vacuole and cell, vacuole. What is that vacuole? Tonoplasm. They are important for the movement of water. They are important for the movement of water from inside the cell to outside or outside to inside like that. Cell membrane and vacuolar membrane, they are responsible for the movement of water inside or outside. Movement of water in or out of cell. Based on the membranes of vacuole and membrane of the cell, water is responsible for movement of water from outside to inside of the cell or from inside to outside of the cell. That is one thing. Okay. Here, what is I told you? The osmosis. Osmosis is a process where a special type of diffusion of molecules from concentration gradient diffusion across a semi-permeable membrane. Osmosis is diffusion of water in any other solutes across a semi-permeable, I told you, semi-permeable
are differently permeable also. If from one side of the membrane to other side of the membrane there is a movement, differently permeable membranes, from one side of semi-permeable membrane to other side of semi-permeable membrane, or from one side of differently permeable membrane to other side of the differently permeable membrane, if anything is moving from one side to out another side, then it is called what? Osmosis. It is a diffusion only. Diffusion is what? From high concentration to low concentration. Here also, along with concentration gradient, you write that point. Along with concentration gradient. Along with concentration gradient from high concentration to low concentration, there is a movement across a semi-permeable membrane. That is what we call this osmosis. This osmosis is responsible for a driving force. What is that force means? What is that? Osmosis is based on driving force. What is that driving force means? The driving force is what? Pressure or concentration. Driving force, which is a pressure gradient. Pressure means, just now I told you, pumping, positive pressure or negative pressure. Pressure gradient or concentration gradient. From high pressure to low pressure area, or from high concentration to low concentration area. That is what we say. That means water movement will be from high pressure area to low pressure area. We can say water will move from region of high water potential to region of low water potential. There is moving until equilibrium. Water moves from region of high potential, high chemical potential of water to low potential, low chemical potential until equilibrium. Equilibrium means, see here, if you take, I will give you an experiment to demonstrate that. Until equilibrium there is movement. From one side of the membrane to other side of the membrane, there is movement from high concentration to low concentration across the membrane. If concentrations become on either sides of the membrane, then there is no movement. Movement of water molecule will be stopped. That is what we say. Okay. So at equilibrium, both regions have same water potential. As there is same water potential at equilibrium, there is no net movement. Movement of water molecule will be stopped. Okay. Write these points, then I will tell you. Completed? Good. Write this fastly. Power gone. Phone may be shut down. Good. Now, when two solutions of different osmotic concentrations are separated by a semi-permeable membrane. When
two solutions,
solution A and B we are taking, when two solutions with different osmotic concentrations are separated by a semi-permeable membrane. This is A, this is B.
it has
More water is present. Both have water. Here, solute particles are present more. In B, suppose. Here, solute particles are present less.
B has more solute particles and A has less solute particles. When two chambers or two solutions with different concentrations or different osmotic concentration, they are separated with semi-permeable membrane. This is what semi-permeable membrane. When there is separation of two solutions with different concentrations with semi-permeable membrane, then the solvent or water molecule will move from high water potential to low water potential. Now, in which direction there is movement? Or which chamber has less water potential? A, B. Which has a less water potential? B. Which solution has more water potential? A. What a perfect, what a speed answers. Okay, solution of which chamber has a more solute potential? More solute potential? B. Solution of which has a less solute potential? A. And what is the movement of water? See, I didn't ask question, but the answer came. What, Vaishika? Before asking question, you are sending answer. That means kept answer by typing readily. When I ask question, suddenly and immediately you are sending yes. Okay. Solution of solute potential with more is this one. Solution with less solute potential is this one. And movement is from A to B. Okay. At equilibrium, which solution, which chamber has more water potential? At equilibrium, which one has more water potential? Yeah, Janani, good. Vaishika, answer now. Botha, Eva, how? No one has more water potential. No one, because both have same water potential at equilibrium. At equilibrium, both have same water potential. Like that, when the solutions with different osmotic potentials are separated by a semi-permeable membrane, water or solvent move from region of high concentration to low concentration along with semi-permeable membrane by the means of diffusion pressure or free energy. With the help of diffusion pressure, dP, or free energy, there is movement from high free energy to low free energy area. This is what we call osmosis. That is a special type of diffusion. This is a special type of diffusion, which is solvent particles only taking place. This osmosis, which is a special type of diffusion, is taking place in all living cells. Special type of diffusion, what is taking place here? It is taking place in all living cells along the concentration gradient. Okay? Along the concentration gradient of water. But against the concentration gradient of solutes. Yes or no? Here water concentration is more. So along the concentration gradient of water there is movements. But solute concentration is more here. Solutes are more, but movement is opposites. So opposite to the solute gradient concentration, solute concentration gradients, there is a movement. Okay, write this some points regarding this, then I will explain the help of an experiment. When write this, when two solutions with different osmotic concentrations, when two solutions with different osmotic concentrations are separated by a semi-permeable membrane, the solvent or water molecules move from the region of their higher free energy within brackets diffusion pressure, higher free energy within brackets diffusion pressure to the region of lower free energy within brackets less diffusion pressure. Full stop. This movement of water or solvents, is called osmosis. It is a special type of diffusion. Related to only water or solvent particles. Next point. It occurs only in living cells. Along the gradient of concentration, along the gradient of solvent concentration, along the gradient of concentration of solvent, or along the gradient of solvent concentration and against the gradient of solute concentration, against the gradient of solute concentration, against the gradient of solute concentration. Next point. Osmosis is determined or demonstrated.
Osmosis is demonstrated by thistle funnel
experiment
or potato osmometer experiment.
thistle funnel experiment or potato osmometer experiment. So, time is 12:42. Do you have any class further? Do you have any class next? 120. Wow. Then only half an hour you have lunch. Yes. Enough for now. We'll continue next class.